And she will like, you know, she's very strict. She will like look at you dead in the eye. Do this. Do this.
With love and affection.
Very, very strict. Like, I love that. I love that. It's tough love, but that's how you get it in your head, you know? And then it becomes part of your body and your movement. Welcome back to Creative Frequency. In this week's episode, we're diving into the world of waacking. We'll be exploring the rich foundations, cultural significance, and the deep ties to club culture. We'll also break down the key differences between waacking and voguing and shed a light on the importance of community building within the waacking scene. Joining me today is Myss Tru, a dancer, battle performer, mentor, and co-founder of Disconnection Jam. Since 2018, she's been cultivating a thriving waacking platform in London, connecting wackers from all walks of life and cultural backgrounds. Her artistry has lit up the stages like Red Bull Dance Your Style, World of Dance, Move It, and Wack Down, just to name a few. So welcome, Myss Tru.
Hi, darling. Yeah, thank you for inviting me.
I'm so happy to have you here. Thank you so much for coming. I'm really excited for this conversation.
Oh.
So for those who are new to waacking, to you, to everything that you stand for, can you give us a quick origin story? Where did your journey begin?
My journey or waacking history journey?
Let's start with you, and then we're gonna.
Yeah.
We're gonna start with you, and then we will slowly transition into waacking.
Okay, so my name is Esther. My stage name was back in the day Tru Peñate, because it was very Spanish.
Okay.
Actually, I always been called Tru. My sister put me that nickname.
Okay.
Things that people don't know, but was my sister called me Tru when I was actually 13 years old.
Oh.
So it came from the household, was my nickname. And I've been dancing since I was 3 years old. By the way, I'm Spanish from the Canary Islands. Pick it up for people. From the Gran Canaria especially. I think, well, since I've been tiny one in the belly of my mom. I was a little bit moving everywhere. My mom always say, "You didn't stop. You didn't make me sleep." And I was like, okay. So since I kind of got 3 years, 4 years old, dance always, movement, music, always being active. My mom was like, "You were natural. I put music, you were like dancing here and there, you were spinning. I don't know how you're spinning because nobody teach you how to do this." So yeah, it was very natural movers here. I was very young. Then, of course, Gran Canaria is a tiny island in Spain. We are this. So the options to dance was not as rich as another countries, or even outside the Gran Canaria, I have to go to enrich another styles, because inside of the island was, ballet, modern dance, maybe jazz.
Okay.
And then hip hop would be the fitness hip hop, which is not even hip hop, that you know how rooting it is. So my journey was self-taught. Since the beginning, we didn't have internet. So yeah, I'm old, 1980s, and I needed to train. So of course, my mom was like, "Go ballet," and I was like, ballet is not gonna be my thing. So I started with modern dance here. I have a background of contemporary and all the stuff. That was my roots.
Okay.
How I started dancing was actually for modern dance and contemporary, because it was the only dance school that I could start moving. So when I reached 18 years old, I was like, I'm done with this. What I can do? Try to find options, try to find styles, because I knew dancehall was here. It was called raga, which was not actually called raga. It shouldn't be.
Yeah.
But Spain is Spain. So it was dance hall here, it was like music with house, footworks, I don't know what it is, hip hop here. It was a very like a swimming pool of styles that I never see before. But the only way that I could learn was investing money, take a plane. Because we didn't have teachers.
Really?
We didn't have teachers there. In terms of commercial, you can have teachers to do cover and choreography, which I never vibe with it.
Okay.
So I was, since early age, I've been always entangled with cultural history. So before I started with Waacking, and I would love to just wrap up this, I was advocating for hip hop.
Okay.
So I used to fly to take a lot of hip hop lessons. And not only to go out was popping, was a little bit vlogging, never click 100%, unfortunately. But was house in hip hop was routine. I was very, very into it. So I had to go in and out, my little island. Go to Madrid, go to Leon, go to Valencia, go take workshop, go here, go there, to always come back and teach my people.
Okay.
So not only teach them, teach me and how I can do it.
Yeah.
And it was a lot of stuff. So before I even enjoy doing Waacking, because Waacking also was a little bit not 100% taught as it is when I learned for the first time.
Okay.
So it was a little bit of a journey for me to understand everything. And because there were none, I was a kind of a pioneer, called that way. I don't want to put flowers in my back. But at the same time, the reality was, I don't have, I need to make it.
Yeah.
And it's not for me, I need to make it for the people who is around me. So I was, 21, 22 when I started to do stuff like this. 24,
Okay.
So I started learning a little bit of everything. And I started to have, okay, I love this, I love that. And it was always culturally talking.
Okay.
So I always been ahead of how I can bring back to my community. Yeah, of course, you have entangled things that you want to be seen and you want to... But at the same time, when I was doing hip-hop as well, I was like, you need to do freeze. So you need to understand what freeze is, because it's come from breaking. So then when you understand breaking, you do a little bit of hip-hop here, you know the groove, you know there's peace, love, unity, and fun.
Yeah.
And it's going to be DJ Cool Herc, that's going to be Tupac, who is this person? Blah, blah. And I always asked the youngest. And they were like, oh, but hip-hop is Rihanna. And I was like, no. Let's just speak about more things. So the first advocate, the first husband I had was actually hip hop.
Okay.
So my journey, because I'm already ending my 30s, is quite long in that frame. So for me to get into Waacking was when I was like, I'm done with everything. So my journey to end up in UK wasn't expected. So when I end up in UK, my beginnings in UK was hard.
Really?
Really hard. Because I end up to be twice to LA. I couldn't get the visa. I couldn't get to work in USA back in the days. I was denying to come back to Spain again.
Really? You were denied?
I don't know. I don't want to. I didn't want to.
Ah, okay.
Like, not they weren't rejecting it.
Yeah.
I was there.
Yeah, you don't want to go back.
Because I did a lot there.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, it didn't work.
Yeah.
I need to move on because it's the emotional state that you have to.
Yeah.
And how much the capacity, maturity you have, which I was very mature, let's be honest. I was my 20s. So when I came back, I did a lot of flights, because I don't want to go long, but I did a lot in terms of like flying to USA twice. Then I went to London, I end up here, but then in Spain, I visited so many times. We do workshop with international dancers that I can understand the culture, but I can understand movement, but at the same time, how I can teach people to compete. Because then back in the days, I had my dance company. So it was a lot that I was all the time working on. And I was like, whatever I learn here, Spain. What I learn here, to my people. And I was always giving, because I was like, girls, boys, I learned this.
Yeah.
And it comes from Fresno. So you need to understand the popping is not locking. So don't go and blend it in, because that's going to be wrong. And Waacking and Voguing is different. Don't do...
Yeah.
And I was always, hey, some things that I used to do. But I was like, getting a point to get burned out. And I was like, okay, went to LA. I came back. I tried to save money in Canary Islands, which is hard as well. Then I had to pay again to go to USA. When I came back, I was like, I can't come back to USA. There is a visa that I have to pay, and I can't have the money. Then I got a little job that's going to be UK. Then was a little bit emotional turmoil there, and I was like, I'm done.
Okay.
That's too much.
Yeah.
So the way for me to re-engage was clap. And that is where Waacking actually hit me hard. Because it's where I could see the reality of it.
Okay.
Because in club is when you see the rawness. You see the dancers dance.
Yeah.
There is no cameras. There is no studio. Group here, group here, group here. You dance to the camera.
Yeah.
There is no teaching you. It's just you, music, and whoever is dancing with you if you want. If no, you are yourself.
Yeah.
And becomes my healing. Becomes my, oh my God, I'm sweating for 5.5 hours here. It's going to be 3 a.m. Doesn't matter. But also the community here was so versatile back in the days.
Okay.
So I used to do like whatever I entered to do some popping here, and then I do hip hop, and then I try to do Waacking. But Waacking was different. The way that makes me feel woman too. Gender, not only gender, how I can say, but makes me feel who I am. It really make me say, because also I had conversation with another dancers. I was in a process of depression. I was really, really bad. And I was like, I just can't do anything. I can't go to dance school because I'm tired of it. The superficiality, I'm sick of it. With no shade. But I'm like, dance has to be meaning more. And the only way that I could actually, my best friends actually comes from the club. So I can't say that, okay, club is just superficial. No, actually. It's where you come, you leave your shit at the door. Sorry. You leave your things at the door. You cross that door and it's just you, water, people around and music. Yeah. And I think that is where I was like, oh, I'm home. Oh, this is church.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm praying. Oh, yeah. And this is just a little bit because, of course, my life has been such enriching, such a long, different journeys. But if it's towards Waacking, that's why it's become personal, is my development as a mature dancer was thanks to that style. Okay. It was thanks to punking especially. Okay. And to the conception and the history and all that stuff the style actually carry. Yeah. I feel the duty at some point to say the things how it is, not the superficiality of what you see in the videos or what you see. You know what I'm saying? It's like the style hasn't reached in history. The same as hip hop has it. The same as Vogue has it. It has to just been told. And I think it has been, but in my opinion, as you ask, I went to so many different styles. I stayed with a little bit more hip hop. And the reason that I left hip hop was like, it's too competitive. I'm always against someone. Okay. And I always need to prove you how good I am in the battles. Okay. And I always have the challenge to like, and Waacking is just matter that you show up. That's good. Yeah, yeah. So with hip hop, it's more battle. It's confrontational. Okay, confrontational. Yeah, yeah, yeah. In my opinion. Okay. I don't say that it's a bad thing. You can keep doing it. Yeah. Can keep feeling it, but is cultural talking hip hop comes from battle perspective and confrontation perspective, the same like breaking. Yeah. And it's very masculine, let's be honest. Okay. And it's something that at the beginning I took it in because I'm a very combative person. I'm a very combative woman. However, I think more that I grow up, I was like, I don't have that necessity to be on guard all the time, even in my life in general, because even you can transfer it to your own life. And dance is not just, I'm doing it here and then I'm another person somewhere. Yeah. When I do Waacking, I'm here, I'm the same. Yeah. And I carry on that energy with me. And when I started to do my dissertation, I started to do stuff and I started to dig it in, I was like, it makes sense. Because I relate a lot with oppression because I've been oppressed so much. That when these styles say you have permission to be you, but you don't have to prove it to nobody. Just the reason that you are is good. That is a liberation that you don't have in another styles, let's be honest. So when I understood that, and it's really sad history where they were killed on the street, they were like very, very, you're like, I never experienced that. So I do have to be very careful how I actually deliver this style, honoring in that way. Which is why I love your classes, because you came in. Well, when I came in, you were really like, okay, let's take a moment to really focus on the origin. Where did it start? Why is this important? We're not just gonna do amazing moves and all of these quick
arm control, dynamic movements. Let's go back to where it started. Let's go to the source, to the origin. Actually, when I went to your class, I think the second one, I already taken 2 previous classes with a different whacker.
Right.
At Base Studios. And she went to travel. So I was like, let me explore, see if there are any other teachers, because I really want to learn more. And I was really intrigued because I found out about Waacking through social media, through Red Bull, through all of these different platforms that platform dancers. And some of them were whackers. I was like, oh my God, I'm so mesmerized by how they execute their vision, their story. So I went to start doing my research. And I was like, okay, let me start looking for teachers that can actually teach me what the foundation is. So I really loved your class, and you're so energetic. And she will like, she's very strict. She will like look at you dead in the eye. Do this, do this.
We love and affection.
Very, very strict. Like. I love that. It's tough love, but that's how you get it in your head, and then it becomes part of your body and your movement. But since we're talking about this, I actually want to go to the origin and like for people to understand what the key difference is between voguing and waacking and where the differences lie within its origin story as well. Where did it start? In which part of the world,
right?
That's and also like the people that are the originators, the pioneers. How did it come together from street life to being in the club and birthing this new style?
Well, it's gonna be a little. I'm hoping that I'm not gonna stand too long.
Okay.
But
yeah, let's try to keep it today, please.
Because I'm very passionate about this, and she made the question, so it's not my fault. But the key differences between voguing and waacking is, first of all, culturally location. You don't have Vogue that is in New York, and you have waacking that is in LA. We have the 2 corners of the USA that is absolutely say, okay. We are literally not the same thing. Vogue was 1960s, and actually, waacking was 1970s. Okay. So it's a 10 years gap. Okay. That's first. So voguing, for what I understand, is very much into ballroom culture. So they honor LGTB, they honor queer, especially trans women are mothers, which back in the days, they were adopting childs. There were amount of people who were homosexual, transgender, anywhere that is not a straight, basically. Let's be honest.
Okay.
Whoever's going to be also black or Latino, especially Latino gay men, and they were kicked out of the houses. They become homeless. So trans women adopt them, and they start calling them child. So they used to go to ballroom and compete, and they used to use houses, House of Gucci, House of, what's the name, Ninja. Then you have a House of Revlon. You have different houses, which is representative for the mother. And the mother normally is a trans woman. Okay. Which, back in the days, again, all styles and every single style have a political, economical, social context. Don't forget about that. Okay. And that's one of the things I always say to people. You can't strip it on it. Yeah. Because let's be honest, and I'm sorry for repeat myself, but trans women as well were forced to be sex workers. And not only some of them was forced, they didn't have a choice. So you're able to pay the house or whatever it is. Some of them was into the world of sex workers, which is the difference as well with waacking. It is going to be waacking in that term is all about drama. We were very much into films. Vogue is into more fashion. So when you go to Vogue, you will see that they always dress in things and showing how expensive and how they look. Yeah. Right? Which is great. They have the runway, which you have a big runway. And also, Vogue is not ballroom. Ballroom is huge. Vogue is one part of it. Okay. Right? So it's a lot of old way, new way, both of them. Then you're going to have hand performance, then you're going to have sex siren. There is a lot of categories inside of ballroom. Everybody is actually welcome to go, but they are very, very protective of what LGTB community is, right? Yeah. So we go to Waacking now in 1970s, and the punkers, which we used to call by the word punk, was back in the days, especially in LA. Oh, well, I think in New York as well. I think was pretty much in all the country. If you were identified as a gay person, you were called punk, but it was an insult. It's a derogative name, like you are a punk. In order for them to kind of take off that painful meaning and transform it to something that they could use as a weapon, they use punk it out as posing, as determination of self, as this I'm gonna punk you out. I'm gonna do punking. I'm gonna punk the pain out. I'm gonna transform that pain in art. And used to Victor Manuel, because it's the last AOG, he used to say vomit art. You vomit art and you transform all that negativity, because again, is highly political. It affects very, very much in people. And hugely different is, if you see, they have houses. Vogue is about, mothers, hierarchy. Waacking is club culture, which is underground club culture. Was no particular clubs that people knew about. It was more LGTB, so not everybody knew about it. Think about there was no phone, was all word of mouth. They kind of gathering together, they put music on, and they could be together. They can touch, they can hug, they can kiss. Things they never are going to be able to do it outside. Because also they were a law, I think a Sodoma law, I need to remember the name. The police was entitled to break in any house if they think they're having a sex men with men.
Oh, really?
And they don't need any permission. So you can be a criminal with just after have this act of sex with your partner, if you're gay. Yeah. That law was even active until the 80s, I believe.
Wow.
Yes. So if there's going to be 70s to like almost 90s, a neighbor can say, hey, I think these two people are having sex, or whatever it is, and police can actually have the entitlement to break in.
That's crazy.
Take them, cuff them, and make it as a criminal, go to jail. Yeah. Until was one case that actually they won and they started to take care of the stomach hole.
Wow.
So all of this affect, of course, the community of LGBT, the gay man, Latino, especially Latino gay man. And the meaning of punking was coming from the inspiration for Garbo pictures, for Dietrich pictures, which is like Hollywood movies. Hollywood, especially female stars. So they take that book, The Four Fabulous Faces, and they start to see how these women impose things. They feel inspiration by it. So then on the music, there was a song called Papa Rolling Stone. It's the one that I put in class.
Yes.
So when we were doing that, I'm not there, they were doing as a performing. They didn't know, but they were doing the movement all together with their characters. So all of them were different, doing same things. And that's the beauty of it. None of them looked the same. Some of them were inspiration by Bugs Bunny. Some of them, they said Charles Chaplin. Some of them were Garbo. So the style start calling punkers, they start to call Waacking later on. Because, of course, straight people start to come to the club. They didn't want to be called punk. They want to be called differently. The evolution, then we have Soul Train that came in a little bit later. The first black people dancing on the TV, which is huge.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The black people didn't have as well. Was another oppressive group. They were like, we cannot be there. Was the first time that they were actually in the TV. They were like, boom. What happened? Waacking was there. Tyrone was there.
Nice.
So Tyrone was one of the dancers of Soul Train, and he started to teach. And what happened? The name was Waacking, not punking. And the punkers stays in the LGTB, and the filtration as all the ones communities came in. Started to call Waacking. But the thing is, like, the WHACK.
I was going to ask. Yeah.
I'm going there. It's just a little long history, my darling. Stay with me. It's just the Waack element was come from the comics and also for the TV show Batman and Robin for 1940s, which is like, it was so funny. You need to watch that, though.
I haven't seen it.
Like, they don't even have effect because it's for 1940s. You can see Batman jumping. And you can see boom, bam, boom, whack. It was very funny. And the WACK, it comes from, like, strike that arm with a very strike with force.
Yeah.
And that way they use punkers to receive the movement towards it. Because punking is pretty much come from the infusion of the posing, but infusion of the character who you are. So you can't teach who you are to people.
Yeah.
It's a matter of like,
Yeah.
it's a matter of like definition of how you going to be you, that is all in you. So where you're coming from, the inspiration that you want to take in. Then Waack will be the element that you use to speak. And so the way that I teach, because there's a lot of people who get confused, and it's like, stop moving your arms if you don't know what you're gonna say. Your arms is the Waack, so your mind is the element to communicate to people.
Okay.
But if you're punking, which is the presence that you wanna put it in, you are not 100% sure, practice the posing, practice to stay in, to do your gaze, to move, to see, to read the room. So then you know more or less where the inspiration coming from. So the Waack is for me the way you do that. And then WAA, it comes from, I think what Jeffrey Daniels to say, okay, we're gonna call AAA, so then people don't call it WACK, which is another not very nice word.
Okay.
Very not word.
Yeah.
So they wanna call it that way, so then we refer to more a positive definition. So because Soul Train was so trendy, TV, boom, everybody heard about Waacking. After all, then the style kind of died out a little after the AIDS, because the government didn't help for the AIDS and the punkers died, all of them. It's just one left that we have, Victor Manuel, by the way. It's the only one we have left. And Tyrone passed away as well, so we are not having too much of OGs right now, but we still have a legacy. We have so many other generations that learn from Tyrone.
Yeah.
And they said, I am an Archie girl, so I'm an Archie brunette. So I learned from him because at the end, I feel that Waacking and punking, and this is the last thing I want to say, is more as a social dance.
Okay.
And I use it, and personally, in my programs, which I would love to have more people in it, but the programs is more is a social work.
Okay.
I am really looking forward to transport Waacking as a vehicle for them to have a better life, and then they can have a better mindset of whatever they're gonna do. So Waacking is clearly something that, as you see how complex that come in, is as well for me very delicate.
Yeah.
When I'm gonna teach to people.
Yeah.
Because they are gonna, what they're gonna do is just through the arms. It's just funny and it's fine, and it's part of it.
Yeah.
But you are missing a big part that is who are you in the dance. That would be my last thing.
I guess, how did Waacking in particular influenced your personal growth and just like you as a person, you know? How did that enrich your quality of life?
Girl. Girl. And I'm gonna look at her, girl. Hello. I wouldn't be who I am. I'm not gonna get a little bit sentimental right now, but I wouldn't be who I am if I wouldn't be in the club environment that I did like 10 or 8 years ago.
Okay.
It really saved my mental health. I was in a very poor mental health. I was that I wouldn't actually even describe the lineup that I was, because it's something that I don't want to revisit. But they go into the club and discover that, oh my God, I can do this. I am someone here. I can feel that I am. And suddenly I can use Waacking as, not use, because I think the style chose me at some point. It wasn't me to say, I'm gonna try. No, I went to there. I found another 2 Waackers back in the days.
Yeah.
And they were like, and I was like, oh my God, something is coming here. And I started to do posing, and I was like, what posing? This is not normal. And I was like, I never do pose from be a dancer who like baggy with the hair, the hat back.
Yeah.
Always very nothing, no heels. 2, dresses, sparkling, heels, and feel that I am okay with it.
Yeah.
And not feel that I am, how I can say, because it's quite personal, but don't feel that I'm a mock for people, that I am faking it. No, I'm actually fake. I don't know, you put a ring in your finger, you feel.
Yeah.
You cannot say, okay, you just put it in, it's like, oh my God, it's like a sock. It's a feeling in it. So when the moment that I start to have Waacking fever, because it was like a little Waacking fever moment, I start to like talk here, talk there with who I can go.
Yeah.
I have my best friend and we go to like events. We went twice to Eleganza, which was 2 in Italy, 2 in Paris. We went to Glasgow. And we start to have what butters next, and we were hungry.
Yeah.
And the moment that I had that fever, I was like, more interactions that I have with this community, more I feel I belong. Because when I'm hip hop, I feel that I'm constantly seeing with who I'm going to and who is actually competing with me. But sometimes I'm not even, and sometimes I feel that I'm gonna beat you up. Yeah. And I'm like, well, what's wrong with you? Like, I don't have any, that is the vibe. As again, no shade. Yeah. But when we go to, especially where Archie as well, because Archie was another one, to that type of spaces, when I go with my students now, I'm like, have you seen what I'm talking about? Yeah. They're like, it's another level. Why? Because all of them comes from, oh my God, that dress. It's very supportive. Yeah. I love environment that. Where I'm dressing or something and I get very insecure in my house because I don't know if I feel good. I don't know if that is looking nice. And I just, moment that I cross the door, some of them, they are like, oh my God, look at that, how you're dressing in it. And I'm like, oh my God, I just need a little bit of reassurance because I'm there. And I do the same with other people. Not because I have to. Yeah. It comes natural. Yeah. And that was literally one of the steps that I hit on was like, I'm loving this. And I want more of this. How I can build all of this. How I can catch this and put it here and have it here forever. Yeah. And that was when I met Archie for first time. And that was in Italy. I think it was in Wack It Out, or before Wack It Out. I was time ago, 2018, I believe. It was very funny because it was his class. He's put music. Well, the music is sounding in the studio. And everybody is sitting down, warm it up, whatever it is. And the tune was a tune. I would not forget that because I was like, oh my God. And when the tune was, I was doing house. I don't know, I was doing something in the corner. Yeah. He saw me walking. Are you a clap head? You are a clap dancer, right? Wow. And I look at him and I was like, I guess so. Yeah. But that's what I'm talking about. If I put music, you dance. Nice. Nice. And I was just like this, blushing. So, he taught me a lot of the contraposto. Yeah. The contraposto that you saw me in my class. You will see if you come to class. That's pretty much come from infusion of the movies of, Singing in the Rain, which was taught by Archie towards so many of us. But to me, especially, and I always catch that, and I always send him a message like, look, my contraposto. And he's like, you good. I was like, we always have that, I have Archie there. Yeah. And I can talk like he's here. Yeah. With all the people and I haven't been able to have that proximity. And also, that's why I call her father. It's Papa for me. Yeah, yeah. If I'm worried about something that has nothing to do with Waacking, it's there. He can listen, he can mentor me, he can talk to me. You know what I mean? And creates I don't want to say family because family is very complex. Yeah. But it's like a community, because one thing is collective and proximity, and other thing is community, which you infuse an amount of care. Because collective is one thing, it's a group of people who has the same mentality. Yeah. And community is when you infuse a little bit more time to build up communication and care between and among the people around it. Yeah. So that's why I've been able to connect with people from South Korea. And I'm able to connect with my friend in Hong Kong. And then I'm able to talk with Belgium. Because we kind of take a little bit of care on the general vision of what Waacking community is in a very different way. Yeah. That would be why, for me, Waacking is I'm not saying it's part of my identity, but it's a huge impact of who I am.
Because you're building a community yourself as being part of a community, right?
Yeah, in 2018, we had a moment of like my friend and I, my best friend Angelica and I, we were like looking to each other and we were like, we need to do something. Yeah. Like Waacking is here, we're having battles that there's not enough people, they want to take it off the category, we need to do something. And I remember the moments in the bus when we coming back home, we were just sitting down in the bus and we were just discussing that. And it's not only about me building, I think the response of the people seeing there is a possibility to be more connected with. They had a great response. So right now, the community, of course, has been huge. It's a little bit more big now. We have people in Scotland. Big it up for Waacking in Scotland with Doreen. Then we have here, me, Disconnection Jam with Angelica and Tiago. And then we have London Waacking Movement, which is the next generation, the babies, the people who came sometimes to ours, now they are doing their thing.
Nice.
And that is one of the beauty of it is we didn't see that, we did a gap, we saw a gap, we just want to infuse it with it. Because back in the day, it was all about competitions and stuff. And right now, you should actually check that out on YouTube. It's a little teaser of behind the scene, which my best friend, Angelica, she did... with Daniel Fordue's production, a documentary about UK Waacking. And it speaks about a lot how actually UK Waacking was, how started, how it's going to be here. You have Kumari here, you have Damien, you have a lot of members, right?
Yeah.
Then you have Disconnection Jam, it was us. And then you will see that the thing is what we tried to do, and I think that's what we did, was let's unite. It's the only thing. Let's unite and build. Let's unite and build. Because everybody, at the end of the day, you do you. And it's great.
Yeah.
But what we will see as well after COVID and all this stuff was like, we kind of need gathering people. Because after COVID, everybody gone.
Yeah.
And we need to just, again...
Come back, yeah.
Yeah, and also was the hub back in the days as well. I don't know if you remember the studio. The hub was a foundational...
Oh, actually, I do. That's in Bethnal Green?
Bethnal Green.
Yes.
Shame that it's closed now.
Yeah.
But that was an amazing academy for people to come in and do foundation. So David was first, then was me, there was Angelica. We are like, three of us sometimes. It's like intermediate, beginner, foundation. We was just infusing a lot of like, hey, Waacking is here. Waacking is here. You know what I mean? And now we have people that, for example, me, I can... and they can carry on with it, which is one of the beauty of it.
Nice.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now you have classes in East London, then with Paola, then you have Studio K with Ginger, then you have with me and Artist Studios. Then with me it's a program as well, which is different, more wellness, but it's a lot.
Which is important
right now,
too, you know, that's really important. It's part of like your mentorship aspect as well, I guess. And for the next generation of Waackers, as a mentor, what are like the key principles that you want to, you know, give them as well as they go on their own and also like start their own movement and community?
That's a good question. You do have a very good question, girl.
Thank you.
As a mentor myself, and I speak more as a mentor than a coach, and I will explain you the difference about it. Because coach is, I am not intervening in anything in your life from my experience. I just make questions and you decide, right? Mentors come from own experience. So when I'm come from own experience, I'm actually adverting and kind of warning people that if you go that way, what is actually is going to be the outcome. So when I'm a mentorship, especially in my programs right now, because it's Waacking and Wellness, and it's 3 months. Well, right now they are signed up for almost a year, but it started as a 3 months, was I'm gonna take care of your mindset. I don't care how you move. I don't care how you stuff. If you do a choreography and you judge yourself negatively, I'm gonna hunt you down.
Okay.
I am not gonna be gentle because the matter of fact that I have to fight with me to fix myself, I don't advise to people to take that. And it's not that I am not proud of who I am. Don't take me wrong. But it would be way more easy if someone say, hey, you know, that self-destructive mindset that you have, you're not gonna, you know, if you're not your best friend.
Yeah.
But I didn't know.
Okay.
So what happened is going to spiral down. My mentorship is, I always say to people, I don't care actually if you're a beginner or not. I really don't care. I also had a big girl. She never did Waacking before. End up doing Waacking.
Oh.
End up doing posing. End up doing stuff.
Yeah.
And she was like, she's coming like a big girl.
Nice.
And she's taking her heels. She comes with heels.
I love
Not
that.
even me. She comes to heels to class. This is sparkling, right? That's great. And I was like, go for it.
Yeah.
And it's not something that I teach her to do, though, which is funny. Because I never dress like this. If I'm not battling or something in my classes, you saw me. T-shirt, I'm very chill.
Yeah.
But I'm giving them the option to do so. What I do as a mentor is, how is your personal environment in your head. How is your ecosystem? I always say that. If your ecosystem is actually neglected, how you gonna take care of your style?
Yeah.
How you gonna learn? So if I teach you something, the frustration is gonna tell you your shit. How you gonna be talking to you in the mirror? Is the mirror overwhelming you? You don't like what you see? Is the movement, or is the high? Or is the here, or is here? Or is I don't like my hands, so I don't like to look to myself?
Yeah.
What is that? And that is where I am always stopping my class, and I'm like, we are not gonna carry on. I am not gonna tell you to dance if you're literally not enjoying the thing that you're doing.
Yeah.
Because don't make me, it's not about me, but I'm like, what exactly is my function here?
Yeah.
To literally take the whip and, you know, and just make that.
I know you can do that.
But you laugh, which is fa. But if you don't laugh, I'm like, hey, you know, punishment duty one line.
Yeah.
But the punishment that I do is all the time like,
Yeah.
It's actually, you know, I do something and it's love and affection.
Yeah.
And they know it's a sandwich.
Yeah.
But I am a detector on self-talk, and I'm big in that.
Yeah.
Big.
Okay.
And when I am getting silent, and sometimes I'm looking out like, they're like, no, okay. Is create a space for awareness that whatever you do in this dance class, you are filtering anywhere that you go.
Yeah.
So if you are self-critic here, I don't even want to know how you are going to be in work, how you're going to be with your father and mother, how you're going to be with your boyfriend or girlfriend, partner, husband, fiancé, son, daughter, whatever it is. I need to take the root of the problem here. So once that I take you here, and I just do that that, we will talk about it. Because the thing is, and that's the last thing I want to say, I am very passionate about mindset, and I'm very, very passionate about wellness, and I'm very passionate about as well independence. Because it's good you teach a choreography, people gonna get it. But it's gonna get your movement. You're not gonna get their movement. They're gonna get your movement, which is at the point is good. But I'm like, if you don't like what you see, even if my movement there, how are you gonna execute it? If you're not in peace with yourself, if you are not compassionate and say, hey, I'm learning, I'm not gonna have this choreography in 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Unless I'm like super good talent, which is not everybody is.
Yeah.
Like, because the amount of self-criticism that I have sometimes with some students, and not only students, I'm like, I see myself on you.
Yeah.
Stop that.
Yeah.
I am
It's
not
hard.
gonna carry on. And they are like, they can't see it sometimes.
Yeah.
And the opposite, shrinking. This is too much. Fucking hell, you too much. Go for it.
Yeah.
Permissions to like explode.
Yeah.
It's good. Explode in a good way. You are angry. Show me how angry you are.
Yeah.
Don't
I love
repress
that.
it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Well,
Pretty
like
much.
the challenges that you faced when you started. Give me two of the biggest ones. Like, okay, you're starting off, and these are the really like hard things that you experienced
mentally.
during. I guess mentally, or just like when you were learning the style, or when you were trying to connect with people. This could also be during your hip hop era versus
Interesting.
Waacking. But like, what are the challenges that you faced when you were trying to get into the industry?
well, getting to the industry, I always have a little bit of love-hate about it. But because as much as we love to work for the industry, it doesn't sometimes align of how gentle they not are with dancers. They use them by a structure of what they look like. And sometimes I'm like, dancers never gonna look alike. Stop putting them in bottles. Because the beauty of it is they are different. So that is sometimes my frustration toward industry. But moving that side, one of the things that I have so many, but I have a problem with self-image.
Okay.
Like, I didn't like my teeth. I didn't like my eyes. I do remember to always put the hat down.
Oh, really?
I didn't want to have eye contact. Yeah. I was quite like this, but at the same time, I was loud to like see me. You have to see me. I'm good. And I have to validate myself. You need to validate me. And I was very like hungry in the bad way of give me validation. Give me how much I worth, which was big back in the days because, you know, you come from a very tiny island and nobody tell you nothing, you think you are good because you know you are good. You think you are amazing, which is at the end you are like, darling, you are a little brat. You need a lot of time to like chill out, put your ego down. But I understand there was a lot of conflict and you need to defend yourself. I get it. Now that I'm growing up, I could see it. But in that day, you don't see much. You are very chaotic. You're like very like this. And I do remember I didn't like much me as an image. Finding out that hair was hard because I was bullied by my curly hair. I was bullied by my teeth in school, yeah. And it was a lot of things that unfortunately accumulated, creating a self-destruction conversation with myself. Okay. So also the only way that people can actually pay attention to me was when I was dancing, which I was craving by attention. I never had an attention, nice, what's the name, like healthy attentions when I was a little younger. So it was a lot of see me, you need to see me. I want you to see me, to validate me, to see me how good I am. And then when you tell me how good I am, I was like, oh my God, oh okay. Oh, I was like, why I didn't say that to myself? I was good already. Yeah. But because I never heard from nobody how good I was, I never be able to structure it at some point. Now I understand of so many years of therapy and, you know, a lot of self-development behind my back. I'm like, it get a point that being by myself was a hell. And I needed to be with someone else all the time. Okay. Friend, boyfriend, or the partners, whatever it is. Yeah. And this gap was too loud. And I always end up with bad relationships sometimes. Sometimes a relationship was good, but I made it bad. And it was a lot of stuff that I was like, that's why when I arrived here, everything crashed down. Everything was that. And when I arrived here in 2015, 14, 15, the transition, I was like, you have to be alone, even if you don't like it. Yeah. You have to. You need to start liking yourself. You need to start moving yourself. You need to start to connecting with you. Because the disconnection that I had with myself created that amount of, I call her the bitch sometimes. And sometimes it's that the typical voice that is saying you are not going to go anywhere. Yeah. You are no one. Yeah. That big voice to tell you, because you see, all the people is succeeding, you are not succeeding, you are a failure. Yeah. Look at that. And you're doing this class?
Oh my God, you were so hard on yourself. Oof.
I'm just giving you a taste of it used to be worse. Yeah. So I always say to people, I'm easing you in. And when I'm talking about this, it's just a little bit of iceberg, you only see that. The down was so many things that happened around me too. And how I feel rejected and not feel accepted by family members that I am doing this and they laugh at me. And there's a lot of shame and it was a lot of stuff. And it's accumulation of things that you say, okay, when you get a 30s, you're like, oh my God, I'm very full of shit. I need to take care of myself because this is not going anywhere. You know what I mean? And sorry to say so many bad words, by the way, but it's pretty much
this is why community is important, you know, like your extended or chosen family. This is why it comes into play. And I feel like with dance or just with dancers, they find their people and they become like a second family in a way, you know? And as you said earlier about the care and being intentional, that's where all of that comes to play. Yeah. If you had the choice to do everything again, so you're back to like your 18-year-old self, what's the one thing that you would do differently besides being like alone? Just give me one thing.
I would love to build compassion about her.
Compassion.
If I'm able to be physically next to my 18 years old, I will let her know how good she was. Okay. Because the thing is, when she received, because that's things that, I'm saying she is me, by the way, but when I received by 18 years old, any type of compliment, I used to get angry. Because I used to not believe in it. Okay. It wasn't much like, you lied to me. I'm not that good. Telling you, I know. And my sister, I remember that it was, and I remember that it was a constant, I'm a battle with the world. I'm angry with the world, and I'm all the time like this. It's exhausting for the people around you. Yeah. So I feel abandoned because people were like, I just can't be next to you. I can't be near you. Yeah. And I think that is the moment of that I was like, if you carry on like this, what exactly you're gonna end up with.
Yeah.
Like people are giving you good compliments, good stuff, good. You are not able to say thank you. And I start to practice because I start therapy late, like very late, like 31.
Okay.
And imagine all my 20s.
Yeah.
Chaotic.
I feel like most people though, because therapy is expensive. It's not cheap.
I know, but the thing is, like, I did my best to find a therapist where I can pay by installments, and also she was very accommodating.
Okay.
Because in the way that I have to speak about all what happened, because I got post-traumatic stress, then I have traumatic stress, that I was triggered at every time.
Okay.
And when, thanks to friends of mine, relationships that I have inside the community, and that's what I said to people, community is very important because mirroring you. And when you don't like something, you're like, oh, it's because I am actually behaving that way too.
Yeah.
And then maybe you're not seeing it, and you're like, oh, I don't like he's doing blah, blah, blah. It's like, but 1 second. Do I'm doing the same?
Yeah.
In another person? In another environment? In another type? No.
You have to be self-aware for that though. Not everyone is self-aware, you know.
Exactly. But that's why community is there.
Yeah,
it's not just I'm going dance and leaving. It's you are building certain connections with relationships that at some point, and it's not just Waacking, I think happen with every type of community. House, especially house in UK is strong. Hip hop is strong as well. And you can make friends towards that lineup that helping you at some point to realize that certain things are not right. And maybe you need to make certain decisions. And I was pretty self-destructive during almost 20 years of my life. And I know, I can be open right now saying it, but is the reason that I said the program is like, I am not the only one.
Yeah.
And it's a silence. It's a very quiet voice that is all the time discouraging you. And it's all the time telling you how bad you are.
Yeah.
And it's always telling you like, this can go wrong. And it's gonna go wrong. And then you have to say, okay, I can look it up, but I'm not gonna stare at it.
Yeah.
How I can do that?
Yeah.
That's my role.
Yeah.
My role is actually snap you out of it.
Yeah.
Step in your power. Step in doing this. I'm here to show you that you can. There is possibilities. We live in a negative bias.
Yeah.
But look the whackers, look at the punkers. They was punking that shit out. And they weren't having a good time. And look what they create.
Yeah.
You know
Something
what I
amazing.
mean?
Yeah.
Something amazing that us, we are now honoring. We are now excelling in it. We are putting it out. Of course, I'm not gay. I'm a woman. I'm a straight. I don't have the right to say that I'm absolutely a guest and an ally of that type of style. Absolutely. But that not means I can put it in and say, hey, as a wellness and as a dancer mindset, you're going to have a lot of challenges.
Yeah.
And the world is not going to be easy.
Yeah.
But you're not going to make it easy then. You're going to give them a hard time.
Yeah. You give
Which
them
is
a hard
called-
time back. Yeah.
That's the thing, because and this is the last thing I say, is when you're an artist, they're like, oh, what's your plan B? Because, as an artist, are you going to pay the bills? And that is the first thing people are going to approach you. What you going to think? Okay, I need to think about my plan B. And that's where I am saying no. The moment that you create a plan B, you are not believing in your plan A.
Yeah. So you drive, like your drive is to like fully focus on your dance career, no matter what.
Not only dance, because I do astrology, tarot, it's like focus on your creativity endeavors.
Okay.
What fits you? What makes you happy? What actually you can say, I'm working, I'm getting money, but I'm helping and I'm enjoying what I do rather than I'm going to Costa and give coffee.
Yeah.
Which is, okay, it's good. But it's something that you really want to do. It's your coffee shop. It's something that you want to build.
Yeah, it's just like living on purpose in a way.
Intentional.
You know? Yeah. How did this like translate into Disconnection Jam, like your company?
No, it's not a company. It's a
not
platform.
Oh, platform. Okay.
We are not a company.
Okay.
We are a platform for helpful people to put in together.
Okay.
Pretty much. Disconnection Jam comes from the idea to unite.
Okay.
Was
Simple.
not too much like, we didn't have like, okay, we're going to do a company. No, we were 2 people, well, 3 now. And we were pretty much like, okay, this is what people need. We want to put what we feel in the club, because that's how we met. Because we met and we bond in the club. We were like, that style is so cool. We love that style. It's really, really expressive. How we can create certain projects and certain things to start to, say people, hey, you can come. Hey, you can come. Hey, you can come.
Yeah.
Come to us.
Yeah.
And start to create that switch of energy. There is no competition. We are all together, unity, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And that's how Disconnection Jam kind of born, is the idea of let's have connection.
Yeah.
That's why it's disco connection. It's not coming from just disco, it's connection. How we build that connection with people.
Okay.
Disco. So we were having friends in house, we was having friends in popping, we was having people in hip hop. We were like, whoever wants to come for Waacking, we are here.
Yeah.
Like,
okay,
just call us. It's not gonna be. We weren't thinking, oh my God, this is gonna be a no.
Yeah. Okay.
We
that
always
makes
dance
sense.
together, but it's the mission is we want to put a space here. And I don't care if you know how to dance, if you don't know how to dance. I don't care if you're a popper. I don't care if you're a trans. I don't care if you are old. I don't care if you're young or young, depending. But it's like, we don't care. We don't. Just come, learn, and have fun.
Yeah.
And jam, which means we put music and you enjoy.
You just move. Yeah.
What happened with you? Because we are movement artists.
Yeah.
After all, not just whackers, we are movement artists.
Yeah.
We love to move. So we want to create that space where everybody can just sweat their ass.
I love that. Where do you see the future of Waacking heading?
I think they are already achieving so much right now. Like, I'm so proud of the community how to now, actually. Yeah, because the thing is not about me. It's like, I'm so happy that we were like there having enough energy and enough craziness to do the things that we wanted to do. And people would join us. They were like, oh, this is cool. Where's the next one? Let's go.
Yeah.
And their response was fueling us to do more and to deliver more and to be there for them and create more events. And because we create 2 events right now. And what I would love is right now, with all the fluctuation that we have with COVID, with all the stuff, is we can do as much as we can do, but we cannot stand it to people to coming in. There has to be a certain interest that they coming in. You know what I mean? Because what I really is in the lineup for me is like, I can do as much as I can do, but I'm not gonna do a spoon feeding. Like, I can't be.
Yeah.
That is the only thing that I was actually discussing, and I was like, the only thing I would love for community to understand is we are not going to be here forever.
Yeah.
Taking advantage of it now and start building it with us and you coming in. Not like, well, I don't know. I don't see events. Do research. Do your thing.
Yeah.
Move it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Be active. Because events are there. Disconnection is 1 a month. Waacking, they do London Waacking movement. They have already another training for battles.
Okay.
They already put it out.
Okay.
The studios, you have Paola, you have me, you have Ginger, you have classes. But we are not going to be behind you to tell you.
Yeah. Do
It's
this, do
your
that.
part
Yeah.
to like, okay, what is Waacking happening here? Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Right now, I think Munia is going to come from Breaking Convention, which is a French whacker. She's going to bring a lot of French whackers here too.
Oof.
And Waacking in Scotland is going to have one of them. So it's like, if you kind of connect with dots and you are a little bit interested, that's the only thing that you can do. But the only thing, and no shade, don't expect me to go to your door to say, hey, this is what we do.
Yeah.
That's
It's
just the only thing.
It's like whoever is attracted to the movement, to the style, to its history, they will come and find you. They will come and find you in all of these places.
It always has been like this.
Yeah.
However, London is London. And you laugh and you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
London is in and out, in and out, in and out.
Yeah.
People sometimes don't even stay.
Yeah.
And to have a continuous, a lot of people, I'm talking about like people to come to every is difficult.
It's hard.
It's hard.
Yeah.
Right now, I have to cancel one of the workshops because I didn't have people.
No.
The battle one. And it was completely fine. I was okay, was bad timing or whatever it is. It's just like, what I really would love to people to understand is like, if you really want, is availability.
Yeah.
And that is what community does. It's not like we wanted it, for example, we didn't have it, we created it, we have it there.
Yeah.
That is the only thing we did, was like we didn't have the space, we created. Fine.
Yeah.
But then, the rest of the people you need to know that you need to do your speaking here, and there, and then you come. Because I am not going to be, it's the only thing, no shade.
Yeah.
There's no bad intentions, with all the love and affection, with my heart open.
Yeah.
There has to be the other side of the story where it's going to be like, oh, London, what is happening in London with who I can connect?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And Disconnection Jam, we does a lot is to post a lot of stuff in our account and connect with another Waacker. So from our account, we spread it.
Okay.
So you can see posts that has nothing to do with Disconnection Jam because it's
Okay.
not even, but it's like, this girl is teaching, you have another girl here, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And I have people that sometimes they text us in Disconnection Jam.
Okay.
And I'm like, hey, I'm coming that day. Is anything happen? I'm sorry, maybe not. But take this one. It's
Okay.
always...
I love that. Still always connecting, bringing people together.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
There is no gatekeeping. But
I
at the
love that.
same time, the only thing I say to the community is like, don't sit down on your sofa thinking, hey, there is not.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
no.
yeah, yeah. No, that makes
Do
sense.
your
That makes
research.
sense.
Do your research.
Okay. There's an end ritual that I like to do with all of my guests.
Yeah. Oh.
And this end ritual essentially is you sharing a quote or a piece or whatever it is that inspired you during times of hardship or creative hardship that you tend to go to as a way to like give yourself some peace or to like find solace. What is a quote or a piece of art or a piece of wisdom? What is it that you always revisit when you like, this is hard, I need to motivate myself?
I have few. I need to remember one. That is, I am not gonna be where I used to be. That's the only thing. Like, I am not gonna be where I used to be, which is like when I see the old habits creeping in, when I see the old things creeping in, it's like the old lady talking here behind my ear. I always say, darling, I moved on. I'm not who I used to be. The reason that I said that as well is because, you know, there are certain people that see you in different sections in your life.
Yeah.
And when you are young, you're not old. So they have that image of when you were like ABC, and you're like, oh, you know, I'm not that person anymore. Are you gonna be open to meet me now?
Yeah.
So it's a very good refresh start that you're like, I'm in control of how I feel that moment. And the other one will be for more and better.
For more and better.
And better.
Oh.
For more and better. Whether with love and affection would be always say.
Yeah.
But it would be one of the sentences that I always say is like, you do what you do, but for more and better. And leave the door open. More and things like, things are gone, more and better. It's quite like more, less chaotic as it used to be.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You're
Thank you
welcome.
for coming. I'm really happy. Thank you.
It's being a lot crazy. I don't know what I say. I hope
No,
I say
it's
everything fine.
It's fine. Where can people find you if they want to, you know, sign up to your course or like the programs, or if they want to come and like start learning their, you know, starting their journey in terms of Waacking? Where can they find you?
Well, Myss Tru Waack with a Y, please. So MYSS. There's Waack. Myss Tru Waack. That's going to be in the Instagram. I'm mainly in Instagram. I'm building up my website again. So the programs that I'm having now, I'm looking for one person more.
For the program?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm looking for one more person, so then I can start to do the second group.
Okay.
Because the first group, they are happy with it. So I am doing the second group. And if you want to sign up, the link is in bio on my Instagram. It's pretty much that. You can follow Disconnection Jam as well. We're going to be all about community. We are having the next event soon in Arts Arcade, which is another place that you should follow, because they have a very good as well connection with community and corporate.
Nice.
So how we can influence corporate with community base is very interesting. And pretty much, I think Myss Tru Waack, that will be the point of contact if you want to DM me, whatever. My DMs are open.
Nice.
And teaching as well in Arts Studios this Friday, by the way.
Yeah.
But it's bi-weekly, so you can follow Art Dance Studios, by the way, sorry. Yeah, pretty much. That's going to be that.
Amazing. Definitely go to her classes. I love them. And if I can, I'm always there. Like, I try to be there every single time. So definitely I recommend it. And yeah, I want to thank you again. And yeah, thank you all for listening.